In this video, we're going to use Minitab Express to test a hypothesis about a mean. We're going to do this homework problem as an example. It says, suppose the mean height of women aged 20 years or older in a certain country is 62.6 inches. 100 randomly selected women in a certain city, so that's my sample size, had a mean height of 61.2 inches. At the 1% significance level, do the data provide sufficient evidence to conclude that the mean height of women in the city differs from the national mean? Assume that the population standard deviation of the heights of women in the city is 4.3 inches. So that's a value for sigma, which is telling me that I'm going to be using z. So first we're going to set up the hypothesis for the test. My null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. My alternative hypothesis is that the mean is not equal to the mean of the rest of the country, which was 62.6. So I'm going to put a not equal to symbol in the box, and this is going to be 62.6. And then my null hypothesis is the opposite of not equal to, which is equal to. So the mean is equal to 62.6. Now I need to put in the test statistic and p-value and then make my conclusion. So let's go to Minitab. We're going to go to one sample. Since we had the population standard deviation in the problem, we're going to use z. I'm going to change this to summarize data, enter my sample size, sample mean, and the known standard deviation from the problem. Then I'm going to check the perform hypothesis test box. My hypothesized mean is the mean from the hypothesis, which is 62.6. Then we click over on options, and I want to set my alternative hypothesis to be the same as the alternative hypothesis in my problem. In this case, my alternative hypothesis is that the mean doesn't equal the hypothesized value, so I can leave that box alone and then click OK. So under this test box, I see my results. The z value here, negative 3.26, is going to be my test statistic. And then my p-value is 0.0011. Now this p-value is less than my alpha of 1%. This is actually 0.11%. So that means that I can reject the null hypothesis because my p-value is less than alpha. The data do provide sufficient evidence to conclude that the average height of women in the city is different from the average height of women in the country.